Hello, this is Dr. Victoria Skirbo, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. And I'm continuing to do my study of the candidates for the 2020 presidential run for the U.S. The next candidate we're going to look at is Cory Booker. This is actually the first guy we've had an opportunity to look at, which is interesting in itself, right? So Cory Booker was born in Washington, D.C., grew up in northern New Jersey, in a relatively affluent area of northern New Jersey. His parents were the first black executives for IBM, and he went to school at Stanford. He got a degree in sociology, and was it sociology? Political science, I think, sociology. Then he got a Rhodes Scholar and studied at Oxford, and got a degree, some sort of degree in American history. Interestingly enough, he goes to Oxford, and then he went to Yale Law School. It was Yale, and he became a lawyer. And he was on the he moved to Newark, which is not an affluent area of New Jersey, predominantly black city, the largest city in New Jersey, actually, most populated. And he was on the city council, and then he ran for mayor. He actually lived in a housing project, low-income housing project. And I am from New Jersey. I remember all of this, and it was quite a remarkable thing to see somebody who wanted to be with the people that he was being the mayor of. And so he became mayor, and he had 2 terms as mayor. I'm not sure if they were 2 full terms, but then he had an opportunity to run for the U.S. Senate for, I think it was Frank Lautenberg's seat. Frank Lautenberg had been there for years, and I think he was I think he retired. I don't think he died. And he won the seat, and so he's been in the Senate ever since 2013, I believe. And so he is very much, he's very interested in helping people. He's very, very, he was with Big Brothers and Big Sisters. When he was in college, he ran a legal, sort of like a, what is that called? A legal aid for people who didn't have the resources for lawyers. So he's very much a humanitarian in that respect. He's an interesting guy. He's a little bit of a dramatic guy, if anyone's ever seen him. He does like to put on a little bit of a show, so there's that. But I guess you need to do that if you want to be front and center in anything, right? Especially politics, especially New Jersey politics, seeing as I was born and spent my first 18 years in New Jersey. So I understand, that whole thing, really. It's quite a place to be doing politics. Okay, so let's look at Cory, and I'm going to just hopefully move this without dropping anything, so you can actually see past my big head. You see that? Okay, so we have Cory here. His full name is Cory Anthony Booker. He was born April 27, 1969. He's a Taurus. That's nice. Taurus, nice stable sign. If we look at his vibration of his name, we take his vowels, add them all together, and we get his soul vibration. And can you see? I don't think you can see that. Hold on one second. There we go. So we get a 44/8 soul vibration. The 44 is, some people consider it a master number. I do. I feel the double numbers are master numbers. Some people feel like we haven't reached past 33 as to expect them to be master numbers. That humanity we've done the 11, we've done the 22, and now we're working on the 33. So 44 is, depending on who you talk to, is considered a master number or not. 44 is a 4 and 4. 4 is crisis. Crisis. So these people are good in crisis. Its base number is an 8. And 8 is about as you sow, so shall you reap. So they definitely have an understanding of cause and effect. Okay, so there's a deep understanding of cause and effect. Now, this particular vibration, the soul vibration, is located on the tree of life in a place called Hesed. And Hesed is associated with Jupiter. Jupiter is a very gregarious energy. It is the Sephiroth of mercy, and so people who have this vibration are very sensitive to other people's needs. They want to help people. There's a real sense of that with this vibration. It is a water vibration, so at the core of who he is, we're looking at somebody who's very sensitive. Now, he has a lot of earth in his chart, so he has his Taurus moon, and he has a lot of Virgo. He was born at a time when Pluto was in Virgo, the South Node was in Virgo. What else does he have in Virgo? And let me pull up his chart. I have his chart right here. I can find my cursor. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay, where are you, Cory? All right, oops. I'm trying to do like all this. Well, see, is this Cory? Nope. Is that Cory? Yeah, there he is. So he has Virgo. Oh, actually, he has Jupiter in Virgo, and so his soul vibration is in Jupiter's Sephiroth. He has Jupiter in Virgo, so he really wants to help people, especially the downtrodden. He really, really has a connection to that. In fact, he, on a certain level, what's the word I'm looking for? He feels like one of them. There's a word for that. I can't think of the word. And I think, just from looking at his chart, and I don't know about, personally I don't know, but there could be a little bit survivor's remorse, you know, that he had so many opportunities and so many people of his race don't, right? So he's trying to sort of even out the scales to a certain extent through helping them in very practical, day-to-day help, you know, food, shelter, you know, medical care, all of that stuff. So that is important to him. So we have that, and this is the Four of Cups. Remember, Kamala Harris had this vibration as well, and when I talked about her, I said that I felt like there was a sadness in her, and I saw it through that vibration, and I guess I could feel that in Cory as well, but not as evident to me. Not as evident to me as it was in Kamala. Okay, so we have that. So then we have his outer personality vibration. And his outer personality is actually a 4711 vibration, which is associated with the planet, with the sign of Scorpio. He has Neptune in Scorpio. Okay, that is more of a generational signature. But it's very close to his MC in his chart. And so when you have Mercury that far up, you actually have a lot of appeal. You have a lot of collective appeal, but you also aren't seen very clearly. Like it's hard to really understand or get an idea of who Cory Booker is. But this is the card associated with that outer personality. And it is an 11. And so 11 is about bringing in the light, right? And your quiescent is talent and ability. And so 11 is also about consensus and reaching consensus. And I know he's done a lot of work with other senators, you know, getting things put out there, whether, I'm not sure about past, I guess it depends, because the Senate, for the most part, while he was in it, has been Republican run, I believe. But I believe. Okay. So we have that. And then if we add his two numbers together, his soul and his quiescent, we get his expression vibration. And his expression is 91. And of course, I only go to 78, like I said before. And so we bring that, we we further reduce it and we get a 10-1 vibration. And the 10-1 vibration is the Wheel of Fortune. This vibration is connected with the planet Jupiter. So we have another Jupiterian connection here. And here we go. And so he has, I think with him, there's an understanding that, you know, one day you can be at the top of the heap and the next day you could be at the bottom. I think he understands that innately. When you have a 10-1 expression, it's important that you remain centered in your experience and understand that there are ups and downs, and not to get caught up in the roller coaster. You know, you could either stay in the center of the circle, or you could be on the outside, and that is not a healthy place to be. So there is a certain amount of grasping the idea that things change, and that you have to sort of observe the change and move with the change, and not get attached to that. And the 11 this 4711 vibration can sometimes get attached to outcome, and it's important that with that 10-1 as an expression that doesn't happen, or that you practice that centeredness that you would need. Okay, so those are his numbers from his name, and now we have his life lesson. And your life lesson is your day of birth, your birthday actually. And when we add that up, for Cory we get a 5611 vibration. And I will pull that card out. Now here we have another 11 vibration. So he's continuing to learn about how to foster balance. Okay, the 11s can get caught up in extremes, so they have to be careful of that. He does have a chart that indicates that could be a problem for him. He could swing a little bit. He could get caught up in extremes. He has a lot of, well, maybe not so much. He has two things. He has two major oppositions in his chart. One is his Mercury is opposite Neptune. Mercury opposite Neptune can be challenging when it comes to the truth, or seeing the truth, or speaking the truth. So there can be an issue there. The other thing is he has a lot of planets in Virgo, and then he has his North Node in Pisces. And so so there is so that Pisces Virgo axis in his astrological chart can come out as victimizer, and so there is this need to understand that is a construct. Okay. The other thing for him is that he needs to learn to forgive. Okay, learn to forgive. Okay, and we'll talk about that when we get to his shadow. Okay, so here is his path of life. So the path of life at 5611, the 11, when you reduce it, is reduced to a 2, right? 1 and 1 is 2. 2 is an emotional vibration. 11 is more of a mental vibration, and so it's a difficult. This is a difficult vibration to hold, because at the root of it, it's emotional, and it's very hard to hold your emotions because emotions tend to, ebb and flow. So that's a little bit hard. So we can see that he does get very emotional. He does get very emotional. Okay. Let's talk about his shadow. So the shadow vibration is we get from taking his name Cory. Now Cory vibrates to a 27-9. That is the Ace of Wands. Remember that from Kabbalah. And so that's powerful. The name Cory is powerful. It has a lot of creativity in it. It has a lot of fire. Yeah, a lot of spirit in the name Cory, the way he spells it anyway, C-O-R-Y. And, yeah, and so we take that and we add the 27. His day is the 27, so that's sort of a double 27 for him. So he is quite fiery. Here's that 27-9 vibration. Okay. And the 54/9 is actually, and let me pull the card, is the Page of Swords. Okay. And this is the shadow. Now the shadow is down here in Malkuth. Can you see that? We have a shadow in Malkuth. This is actually a Gemini vibration. Gemini can be of two minds. Let's see, does he have any Gemini? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have any Gemini, at least in his major planets. I don't know about his asteroids, because I don't have his asteroids up. But Geminis can be split. This vibration is 54/9 vibration. It's important that the inside and the outside are the same. Like, he reflects. What he feels on the inside is reflected on the outside, and what is reflected, that is true to himself in a way. Otherwise, he can be split. And so he needs to be true to himself, to who he is. Now, the 9 vibration is often associated with crime and betrayal. And so he has been betrayed in the past. A lot of times, the 9, the shadow vibration isn't necessarily about this lifetime, although it's usually reflected in the lifetime. It doesn't really start here. It has its start in his past lives. And he has a very full 8th house. 8th house is Scorpio, and Scorpio is about betrayal, betrayals of trust. He has Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, and the South Node there. It can also be an indication of a slave lifetime, okay? And so he actually has an awful lot of remembrances. And I think in this lifetime he is trying to and it's part of that 8th soul. He's working towards sort of balancing the scales for himself. Okay. The other thing I want to show you about his Kabbalah, which I find interesting, is that he has almost all of his numbers on this side of the tree. This is the male side of the tree. This is called the pillar of mercy. This is called the pillar of severity. Too much stuff on the pillar of mercy can make you too expansive. Like, you don't know how to say no. Okay, you don't know what to say no to. Okay, but this is the pillar of the past. This is the pillar of the present moment, and this is the pillar of the future. And so in his numerology, in his Kabbalah, it looks like a lot of what he's dealing with is stuff from the past, and I would dare to say past life issues. And so there's more about fixing what's broken from the past in his Kabbalah than vision for the future. So that's what I want to say about Cory. I like him. I think he's a decent guy, and I think he's really trying his best to help as many people as he can. I just think he might have a tendency to lie to himself, perhaps. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But I'm glad that he's with us, because he does do a lot of good for a lot of people. Okay, so he is actually on this line here, on his let me turn that a little bit. You can see that. You don't have to see me. You can see that. On his divine triangle, he's in a 14/5 vibration from age 45 to age 54, and he's 49 now, I believe. So he's sort of right in the middle of this. 14/5 is the Temperance card, not getting caught up in extremes. Okay, it's also walking the straight and narrow. It's not an easy vibration to have. There's a tempering process that goes on when you're walking this path for 9 years. And when if you're making a sword, you have to put it in the fire, and then you have to pound the crap out of it, and then you have to plunge it in the water, then you put it in the fire and pound it. So he might feel that he himself is going through that tempering process in a way to strengthen him. And on the tree of life, that runs right between Yesod and Tiphereth, right up the center of the tree. And so that's the pillar of transformation. And so he can go through many, many changes through this period, but it's ultimately about leading him to his higher self, actually, which is pretty exciting. Okay. As far as his personal years, he announced when he was in a 6 vibration, a 42 over 6 vibration. 42 over 6 can be very idealistic. They have to be careful of that, generally. So, but 6 is also about responsibility, so he feels like it's his responsibility to do that. It's located in Hokmah, where he also has his life lesson. He has his life lesson in Hokmah. Hokmah is a place of hidden talents and abilities. And so it's a very active place. It's like this is somebody who does things and finds out he can do them, right? It's about just do it. Like there's this sense of just do it in that place. And he just did it. And he did it in a period, in a personal year period of 10-1, which is his expression, right? You know, go for it, that 1. So that's actually good for him because it sort of lines up with his numbers. The actual day, the actual time of the election, and if you can see that, 2020, he'll be in a 15-6 vibration. That sort of vibrates with the 6 up here when he announces. The 15-6 is the Devil card. It's the Capricorn card, so it's about responsibility. He has to keep a good sense of humor at that time. And he's in a 35-8 year, so he's in a year of harvest. So, you know, just his numbers aren't bad for running for president. One of the things that I've actually been in between doing these is I've been looking at the charts of the people running and how the charts of the people running, the astrological charts, line up with the chart of America. And it's been very enlightening because one of the things that Donald Trump did have was he was very connected to the chart of America. In fact, Mars, the Mars of America, which is at 21 degrees some odd minutes, it's like 22 degrees of Gemini, is conjunct his Sun and his North Node and his Uranus. And so he has really brought out the martial quality in America to our horror and detriment and to some people's glee. But it was something that needed to be seen. So when you look at somebody's chart and you look at the chart of the United States, how intimately are they connected? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a series on that and see if I can figure out the technique of showing you the chart while I'm talking. No promises on that, but it's very, very interesting, very enlightening as to what certain people see and how they connect with the chart of the United States. Okay, that's enough. It's enough about that. So, all right, so like and subscribe, and I'm going to do one more today, and that's going to be Tulsi Gabbard, who I also like. So far, I like everybody. Well, Gillibrand, I liked them all for different reasons. I probably liked Gillibrand the least, but that's just my personal thing, so. Okay. Have yourself a great day. I'll see you soon.